What's up, Archons? I'm Flightless Pheasant, and this is the second day of KFC for Day 2 recap. Today went much better, and I'm getting this done a little bit earlier, so I have a little more enthusiasm left, although my voice is slowly dying. So I'm going to try to not have too much enthusiasm. So today was the Sealed Open. I played in the Sealed Open. I pulled a deck that was much better than yesterday's, but due to a technical error that could be my fault, could be Josh, could be the playstyle. I don't know. I didn't get properly registered into the tournament, and so I didn't really find out that there was a problem until I went to go check my round 1 pairing, and it didn't have one. So I went up to Tournament HQ. They got me added into the tournament properly, but it meant I got the bye in round 1, so I didn't really get to test my deck out of the gate. I didn't really know what I was gonna be walking into, but I go into round 2, and I play Ashitaka. Ashitaka was playing a really aggressive, untamed loop using Warfalines and Break of Dawn. It was just like this really aggressive Amber Gain loop thing. I did manage to win, though, but it was a close game. And in round 3, I played Lord Judo. Lord Judo was his deck was pretty decent, but the real trick there is he had Bufos, and I triggered Bufo 3 times. He got every single one of his keys off of a Bufo, and the last Bufo felt really bad because I needed to call Shadows to stop his Forge, but I knew he had Trust Your Feelings, and I knew he put a Bufo under Trust Your Feelings. And I was like, I can't call Shadows, or he'll get the key before I can stop it. But if I don't call Shadows, I can't stop the key. So he won. That was rough. Round 4, I played against my travel companion, Odinsona, and there was a little bit of team killing. I defeated him in a feels bad way. I was running a deck with three rage resets, and one of my prophecies was Ask Again Later, and I was just devastating people's hands. But if you learned how to play around it, you could get out from it. And speaking of learning how to play around it, my round 5 was against Wookiee. And Wookiee was playing basically the same thing I was, but his Shadows pod was actually good, and mine was not very good. I'll do breakdowns of all the houses and all the decks and all the everything when I do my full recap, but it was not very good. And his was better than mine. We were playing similar prophecies with similar fates, and he just had a better deck. He just did. And so I ended up losing, and I was 3-2, but it's more like 2-2 because of the bye in round 1. It was weird, but it was a good run. I feel much better about my sealed performance today than I did yesterday, but it did reaffirm to me that Prophetic Visions has brought back the kind of Grim Reminders lottery feeling that I had when Grim Reminders was around, where it's like, oh, did you pull Shadows, Dis, Logos? No? Well, I guess you lose. Which is a feels bad feeling. I really, really hope they can dial it in so that we don't have that happening very much in the future. I played a second game of Community. Community is a really fun format. I'm having a blast with it. I have played some really cool games. I love my card. My card is so much fun. If you haven't seen it, try to get it, try to collect it. I'll talk about it in more detail when I do my recap as well. I'll even show it off then. I could now, but editing, and I don't want to. I don't want to edit, I don't want to show you the thing. And then I won my second game of Community. I still got to get a third one in at some point this weekend. And then they did the Measure for Measure Sealed, which was Draconian Measures. Shock. I opened a Draconian Measures deck that was really focused on a specific thing that I'm not sure was a good thing or was ever going to be a good thing, but it was really focused on it. And I played my first game against War Master, And his Skyborn was pretty good. He was doing Skyborn does stuff. Skyborn does stuff in Draconian Measures. Who knew? Skyborn can like do things, and it doesn't have to be actions. Um, and I won that game. But it was really really close. 2 keys to 3, just barely edged him out. My third game or second game, sorry, was against Crusader. He was playing a Geistoid pod that really wanted to exalt, or not exalt, but like capture a whole bunch of amber onto a creature and then give me that creature. And he did that like twice, and it was pretty impactful. But I had a trick of my own involving hoist operation and a creature who can remove damage from other creatures after he fights and exalt the creatures he removes damage from. It was pretty mean, and that played really really well, and I ended up winning that game. So I go to game 3, and the prize for Measure, if you can win all 3 games, is you get another Draconian Measures deck. You get a second one. And I was like, okay, I'm so close. I've won 2 games. I know my deck's not incredible, but I've got a pretty good idea what it does. Lock in. Let's get this third game out of the way. And my opponent in round 3 was Harmed. Harmed is an incredible player who bumped me out of the Open Sealed last year and ended up winning the Open Sealed last year and is now in the Worlds Sealed this year and managed to top 8 in Worlds Sealed this year. And I am not thrilled because he beat me last time, and I know I'm not playing Fire. And I sit down to play against him, and he's got a full art deck. And I'm like, oh man, you got a cool full art deck. And he's like, yeah, my deck just kind of does this one thing. And I was like, okay, well, maybe his thing and my thing, maybe my thing's better than his. No, his thing was build a board. And I ended up discarding my board wipe from the top of my deck at the beginning of the game by accident. I didn't even mean to. And I had to dig really, really hard to try to get back to it, and I just could not get back to it in time. And he ended up beating me very soundly. But he was gracious enough to let me see the deck that he opened. And it was cool. I am excited for Draconian Measures. I think it's going to be a much more fun sealed environment. Do I think it's going to have any meaningful impact on Archon? No. No, I don't. And since Prophetic Visions is proving to be a little problematic in Archon, it didn't balance it out quite as much as I hoped. It kind of actually maybe went a little too hard. I hope we get some erratas. Because we need to be willing to do erratas. Because things don't work the way they should. And we need to be willing to fix it. And we're not right now, and it's a problem. But yeah. That's day 2. Tomorrow is Archon. I'm playing an Archon Open tomorrow. I don't have incredibly high expectations, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think I'm going to scrub out pretty hard, pretty early, because Archon is a little spooky right now, and I am not really playing anything all that spooky. So I think I'm going to get thoroughly trounced by all of the spookiness. But we'll see. Maybe I can do something impressive. It would be nice if I could get a positive record, and I would call that a pretty good run. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm in a good mood. I got to get this done a little bit earlier today, so hopefully I can actually relax a little bit before I have to go to sleep. But that's all I have for you today. So until next time, later, Archons.